My heart is so cold, my energy is contagious. All the pain, I can't take it. I'm staying grounded and graceful, cause I know everything that I've been through only made me count my blessings daily. Yeah, they've been acting shady, but I don't take it personal. The memory's fading, I'm enjoying the moment. I've been smelling the roses, taking time to reflect, stepping back, the truth unfolding, unfolding. Got nothing to prove, cause I'm about to blow. I've been in the booth, speaking to my soul. You know that I'm true, either way it go, either way it goes. I cannot turn cold, staying on the low. I can't let you get too close, cause I'm vibrating high. Ain't got time for your ego, these niggas quit to turn their back. Acting like the amigos, they never cared in the shows. Wasn't with you at your lows, assuming that you gonna fold. But baby, I've been growing ever since I let you go. And I've been doing better, and I know that hurts to know. Hurts to know. Only good vibes around me, and that's for sure. Only good vibes, good vibes. Good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes, good vibes. Good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes. Can't lie. Only need good vibes, good vibes. Good vibes, good vibes. You see me searching for my inner peace. I've been learning more about myself and my purpose. Truth always come to the surface. Was hurting, but I had to heal. Releasing all the pain that I always held. Been going through some changes, I'll make it still. Protecting my soul to keep it real. Only need good vibes, good vibes. Good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes, good vibes. Good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes. Can't lie. Only need good vibes, good vibes. Good vibes, good vibes.
Day. It didn't happen. As you know, Richard Allen is accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German 7 years ago.
And ever since, loved ones and officials have been on a pursuit for justice. But today, we're left with more questions after a public hearing was canceled following a private hearing. Fox 59's Eric Graves spent the day in Carroll County looking for answers.
Today, we expected to get into a status hearing in the Delphi murders case here at the Carroll County Courthouse behind me. But unexpectedly, that hearing was canceled, with one law enforcement officer coming out and saying there would not be a hearing, leaving us with more questions than we came here with. This is video of Richard Allen as he arrived. From a distance, he's looking healthier than he has in the past, with his documented struggles during his time incarcerated in state prison. He was recently moved to a county jail. He's charged with killing Abby Williams and Libby German near the Monot High Bridge in 2017. Before the scheduled public hearing Friday was a private hearing between Judge Fran Gohl, the prosecution, the defense, and Richard Allen. We were not told what this private hearing was for. It started around 1, and the media was waiting outside the courtroom. At about 1:35, law enforcement came out and said there would be no public hearing today. At the same time, Abby and Libby's families were taken into a private room with the Superintendent of State Police Doug Carter and Carroll County Prosecutor Nick McClelland. Across the rotunda, we could see members of Richard Allen's family crying. Now, everyone in this case is under a gag order. Bradley Rosie, Richard Allen's attorney, looked at me as he left the courtroom and told me nothing when I asked what happened in there. Superintendent Doug Carter looked at a group of reporters across the room as he was leaving and shrugged his shoulders to our questioning looks. Mike and Becky Patty walked out of the courtroom and said, "Sorry, we wasted your day." Judge Gohl left without a word. As for what's next, there are a few new motions Judge Fran Gohl has to rule on that were made this morning, as well as some things she still has to make a decision on from the hearings that happened just a few weeks ago, namely if the defense's Odinism, their third-party theory, will be allowed to be discussed at trial. That trial is, of course, set for October.
Okay, welcome in everyone, and let me know if you hear me. We're going to get rid of this guy. All right, there we go. Welcome in everyone. Let me know if you hear me all right, and we'll get started. Happy Friday, August 23rd. That was a little update on the mysterious circumstances that occurred today. We don't know much, but thing is, we've got a lot of new filings today I'm sure most of you who keep up with this case are familiar with the filings, but we're going to take a quick breeze through them and pretty much get out of here. We won't be here long tonight. Pretty tired, had a long day, so that's what's up. Welcome into everybody who's here so far. If you're just lurking, come on, join the chat. It's being awkward. It's all good in the chat. Just let me say hello to everyone here. Zero Cool. Having a little glitchiness. Apologize for that. Zero Cool. We got Kayla. Yeah, what's up with the glitchiness? Come on. All right, Kayla. Nancy Drew. Bobby Smith. True Justice. All right. Noe Amos. Regneck Zilla Jeff. Dennis McKean, welcome in. Bill, welcome in. Bird Baby Daddy, welcome in. Sandy D, welcome in. All right, and everyone else lurking, I guess, welcome. Now, today was quite interesting in the filings, the flood of filings. So let's see if I can get this here. All right, yeah, this is the star of the show, in my opinion, today. Well, at least one of the two stars of the show. This right here is pretty unbelievable. And so you guys will see why. But it says, here comes the state of Indiana. Request that the court quash the subpoenas issued for Patrick Westfall, Nick Westfall, and Tobe Lesenby, due to be deposed in the above captioned matter. That word "due" should be D-U-E. Hey, if it's blurry, Bobby Smith, you have to go to your quality and hit the highest quality. Maybe your phone is knocking it down to a lower quality. So, one, that the defendant served the state with subpoenas to depose Patrick Westfall and Nick Westfall on August 28th, 2024. And then Tobe Lesenby on September 13th, 2024. That the state believes the depositions of Patrick and Nick Westfall are unreasonable in that they are not relevant to any issues in the case. The state believes the testimony of the deponents is not relevant and is not exculpatory in any way to the defendant. Further, that a deposition is an effort by the defense to annoy, embarrass, or oppress the deponent or party. Boy, that's a gaslight. That's a gaslight for you. The depositions of these deponents is set for August 28th, 2024. The state reached out to the defense to attempt to move the deposition until after the court has made its ruling on the third-party motive, but the defense refuses to move the depositions. So what, Nick? Are you cooperating? The state believes the deposition of Tobe Lesenby is cumulative and oppressive in nature. Are you kidding me? The state believes that the deposition is being done in bad faith in an effort to annoy, embarrass, or oppress the deponent or party. Tobe Lesenby was deposed on August 9th, 2023 by the defense. The state believes that all relevant topics were covered by the defense in that deposition. That the state believes the defense intends to cover the same topics in an effort to harass, annoy, or embarrass, or oppress Tobe Lesenby. Boy, I got to tell you, that's a gaslight. All right. Now, let me ask you this. What is Tobe Lesenby's job? I mean, won't he be on the clock? Harass Tobe Lesenby? You got to be kidding me, Mr. Privilege. Okay. Sorry, I'm not in the best of moods for dealing with the Delphi bullshit. Okay, now comes the state to quash the subpoena issued for David Schilling to be D-U-E, brother, to be deposed in the above captioned matter. In support of said motion, the state asked the court to consider the following. One, that the defendant serve the state with a subpoena to depose David Schilling on August 28, 2024. That David Schilling is listed as the state's witness. So what's the problem with deposing him? Isn't that a right of the defendant? That the state listed him as a rebuttal witness to testify as an expert on Odinism. That the information on Odinism has been challenged by the state in a motion to limine, where the state has asked the court to exclude any testimony in relation to Odinism from the trial. Yes, that's part of the cover-up. That the state believes the deposition of David Schilling is unreasonable and that it is not relevant to any issues in the case, except for the stick formations left on both girls and the formation written in blood on the tree, and except for the fact that Nicole Robertson of the FBI was looking for Nordic, pagan, runic formations at Ron Logan's house in March of 2017. It seems pretty relevant to the case, in my opinion. The state believes the testimony of the deponent is not relevant and is not exculpatory in any way to the defendant. Well, if it's not relevant, sir, why is he a state's witness? That a deposition is an effort by the defense to annoy, embarrass, or oppress the deponent or party. Let me ask you this, Nick McClellan, because I know that you have a way of doing things, okay? Like, for instance, colluding with Gall to try to have Baldwin and Rozzi kicked off after the Supreme Court reinstated them. But yeah, like, Baldwin and Rozzi don't necessarily do things the way that you do them. So do you think that they have time to waste just for the purposes of annoying, embarrassing, oppressing, or harassing your witness, or Patrick Westphal and his brother, or Tobe Lesenby? Can we be real? Comes now Defendant Allen by Brad Rozzian. Respectfully request, pursuant to Rule 26 and Rule 34 of the Indiana Rules of Trial Procedure, that this honorable court shorten the time frame for third parties, Indiana DOC and Indiana Attorney General, to respond to the defendant's request for production to non-party dated 23rd August 2024. In support of said motion, Defendant Allen states as follows. Defendant Allen is the accused in this matter. The jury trial in this case is set to commence October 14th, 2024. The parties are in the process of conducting discovery and have been ordered to exchange a list of trial exhibits by October 1st. The mental health services provided by Dr. Monica Walla were called into question during pretrial proceedings in this case on or about July 31st, 2024. Defendant Allen has reason to believe that further employment-related investigations associated with Dr. Walla's conduct were carried out after said pretrial proceedings, and therefore, Defendant Allen is pursuing information related thereto. See attached request for production to non-party. Defendant Allen intends to tender the attached non-party request to each of the referenced non-parties and seeks a waiver of the 15-day response period required by Rule 34 of the Indiana Rules of Trial Procedure. Defendant Allen further seeks an order shortening the 30-day response period permitted by Rule 34C to Defendant Allen's non-party request for production of documents. Defendant Allen seeks the shortened timeframes in an effort to allow for adequate time to review any discovery received, conduct any further discovery necessary based upon the receipt of information, and to consider whether or not said discovery will be included in the trial exhibit list, which must be exchanged by October 15th. I'm sorry, by October 1st, 2024. Specifically, Defendant Allen seeks an order eliminating the 15-day notice period to the state of Indiana. Defendant Allen further seeks to shorten the 30-day response period by the Indiana DOC, Indiana Attorney General, to 15 days. Said request to shorten the time frame is not unduly burdensome to the state or any third parties. Okay. Another one coming your way. Second motion for order to shorten discovery. Okay. Defendant Allen states as follows. Defendant Allen is the accused. Jury trial in this case is set to commence October 14th, 2024. The parties are in the process of conducting discovery and have been ordered to exchange a list of trial exhibits by October 1st, 2024. The mental health services provided by Dr. Monica Walla were called into question during pretrial proceedings in this cause on or about July 31st, 2024. Defendant Allen has reason to believe that further employment-related investigations associated with Dr. Walla's conduct were carried out after said pretrial proceedings, and therefore Defendant Allen is pursuing information related thereto. See attached request for production to non-party. Said request was served on the state via email attachment on August 13th, 2024. The state of Indiana declined to waive the 15-day notice period when said waiver was sought by defendant's counsel. The 15-day notice period is set to expire on or about August 28th, 2024. Counsel intends to direct the non-party request for production to the relevant parties on August 28th, 2024, in the absence of any motions filed by the state between now and that time. Counsel desires that the 30-day period of response by the Indiana DOC, Indiana Attorney General, and Centurion provided for in Trial Rule 34C be shortened to 15 days. Said request to shorten the time frame is not unduly burdensome on any third parties, and counsel believes that this is in the interest of judicial economy, that the court issue an order shortening the time frame for said non-parties to respond from 30 to 15 days, with the said 15-day time frame to commence immediately upon service of said request to non-parties. All right. It gets better. All right, so here we go. All right, so just a moment, please. I'm trying to pull something up here that you will appreciate, hopefully. All right, so let's take another look. We're going to look at this one. To the state of Indiana, Sheriff, greetings. You are hereby commanded to summon Indiana DOC, a non-party, care of Elise Gallagher, okay, to produce the law firm, of Hillis, Rozzi and Dean, documentation requested in the request for production of non-party attached hereto. Produce the same within 30 days. Okay. Now, check this one out. Pursuant to Trial Rule 34C of the Indiana Rules of Trial Procedure, Attorney Rozzi requests Indiana DOC to produce and permit the examination of copying of the following: a complete copy of the employment file on Dr. Monica Walla, including but not limited to performance evaluations, attendance records, internal investigations regarding employment matters, and conflict of interest statements. And we'll be getting to that. You just get ready. Razi requests that such production be made by mailing a copy of said documents to Brad Razi. This request for production is made pursuant to Trial Rule 34C, okay? And the producing party is entitled to security against damages of payment or damages resulting from this request, and may respond to this request by submitting to its terms, by proposing different terms, by objecting specifically or generally to this request, by serving a written response, or by moving to quash as permitted by Trial Rule 45B. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm going to be a little wise ass here and say the bottom line is we want Walla. You get it? Enough games. I'll show you some of the games in a minute. Okay? To the Indiana State Sheriff, greetings. You are hereby commanded to summon Centurion, a non-party, care of attorney Robert Brandt, Indianapolis, to produce to the law firm of Razi documentation requested in the request for production of non-party attached hereto within 30 days. A complete copy of the employment file on Dr. Monica Walla, including but not limited to performance evaluations, attendance records, internal investigations regarding employment matters, and conflict of interest statements. Get it? Okay. To the Indiana Attorney General's Office. Okay. You are hereby requested to produce and permit the examination of copying of the following: a complete copy of the employment file on Dr. Monica Walla, including but not limited to performance evaluations, attendance records, internal investigations regarding employment matters, and conflict of interest statements. Are you seeing a pattern here in what's being asked for? The state of Indiana, to the sheriff, you are hereby commanded to summon Indiana DOC to produce to the law firm of Razi the following: Indiana DOC, a copy of any Indiana DOC files associated with the conduct of Dr. Monica Walla while providing services for the Indiana DOC, including but not internal affairs investigations or investigations conducted by any other agent of the DOC. I think I might have skipped or failed to show you that. Okay, but here's the next one. To the state of Indiana, you are hereby commanded to summon the Indiana Attorney General's Office to produce to the law firm of Razi the following: a copy of any Indiana DOC files associated with the conduct of Dr. Monica Walla while providing services for the Indiana DOC, including but not internal affairs investigations or investigations conducted by any other agent of the DOC. Okay. You get what's being done here? I believe that that was it. I believe that that was it, although I'm not even sure, guys. I'm not going to lie. But I believe that was it. Um, Now, let's back this up and put some context in, okay? Who are we talking about here and why? Like, why? See what we got here. Why, oh, why, Prof? Why are you so mean to Dr. Monica Walla? Who is this person? Surely you remember. This is your Dr. Monica Walla. Surely you'll remember her. Okay, doesn't she look like she's having just a grand old time being at the center of attention? Looks to me like she's having a grand old time being escorted by these four young, strapping officers. Not trying to be mean, but you'll see why I'm not happy, and why I believe the defense is not happy. Let's show you another one. Show you another one. Okay, I'm gonna grab it for you just momentarily. I'm sorry for the. This is all on the fly. All right, so let's see. We got it here. Okay, boom. Now here's why. Here's why we're a little upset and salty. Okay. You see the look on her face? Do you? Okay. This is what people are upset about, okay? And this is potentially what they may mean by conflict of interest. Anyone thinks it's super inappropriate for a treating psychologist who may be a witness at this trial to be a member of this group and others? Take a good look. Take a good look. I don't know. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, just about every Delphi group. While treating Mr. Richard Allen. How about this one? How about this one? Take a close look. I'm trying to be nice here. I'm not trying to be mean, I mean, by any stretch of the imagination. Just wondering who everyone watches on YouTube, says Robin Flick. I'm not here to argue. We all like different people. Personally, I prefer channels that don't just follow the narrative and do their own research. Oh, you mean like the prof? Do I agree with everything they say? No, but I respect their opinions. The channels I don't watch are the ones that yell and call people names because they don't agree with them or question them. They have egos that can't allow them to be wrong. I don't agree with people that cut off. But here comes Dr. Monaco Walla. Gray Hughes, Delphi After Dark, For the Drama, True Crime Investigates, Criminality, Defense Diaries, Sleuth Intuition, His Calm Tone is Unnerving. It's the weed, Monica. Do you think that that seems appropriate for a treating psychologist of Richard Allen? But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. Turbo. Yeah, Turbo is the kicker. Because when this was first exposed, Turbo and the Troll Farm, in lockstep, came forward with this sort of narrative here. Please help spread the word, says Turbo. The conspiracy theorists are at it again. That's us all. There is a full cross-platform spread of misinformation like wildfire on Facebook, YouTube, Reddit, and X. This woman did not deserve this. This pertains to the filing by Nick McClellan yesterday regarding psychologist Dr. Monaco Walla and several threads on Reddit, and a YouTube live performed by Angela Sadlowski from the defense witness list for the contempt hearing. This poor woman, Dr. Monaco Walla, has the unfortunate circumstance of having the same name as herself, Dr. Monaco Walla, and being interested in the Delphi case. This is not Dr. Monaco Walla, says the Troll Farm. If you see someone harassing or doxing this woman on Facebook, X, YouTube, or Reddit, please ask them to stop. Well, this lasted about 24 hours before it was proven that this was less than accurate. And you know what's funny? The entire Troll Farm disappeared this post because they had all shared this post. This vaporized from social media when they knew that it was a futile effort. And no retraction, no apology, no clarification, no acknowledging. But I think this right here is why the defense is seeking from Centurion, from the Attorney General's office, from the IDOC, all of her records. She was the individual medicating Richard Allen, talking with Richard Allen, and keep in mind, this was during the time that Richard Allen was in his, how would we put it, at his most dire point. This is the time during which he was tanking so to speak. He had runaway weight loss. He was urinating and defecating on himself, and he was confessing to the Delphi murders. She was medicating him. Medications were changing in flux. He had the lights on in his unit. He was in paper-thin garments. It was bad. It was bad. Okay. At this very point that it was bad, during the time that she declared he was in a state of psychosis, this very time he was allegedly confessing while she's doing this. Not only that, remember the letter from Robert Baston? Do you remember the letter from Robert Baston, or do I have to read it for you again? Because you know what? I'm not going to pull it up. I'm going to let you look at this while I read it for you, because so maybe it's more pregnant if I read it and you just listen and don't distract yourself with visuals. But I'm just gonna read some highlights. Just a moment. Let me do something. All right. Oh, sorry, my dog is setting off alarms. Okay. Wow, I don't know. How much do you guys want to hear? You know what? I'll just read a lot of it. I won't read the whole letter, but I'll read a lot. I just want you to listen. Remember, this is Robert Baston, who was housed right next door, basically, to Richard Allen during this crucial time. He says, I used to be in a cell just above defendant Richard Allen, and as soon as I started voicing my opinion and advocating the abuse and mistreatment and inhumane conditions of Richard Allen, myself, and other inmates back in April 2023, and recording times and dates of incidents, the corrupt Westville Correctional Facility Warden John Gallipo, Custody Supervisor Chad Cornett, Westville Restrictive Housing Unit Captain Gary Lewis, and Manager Mrs. Tracy Cornett retaliated on me approximately April 29th, 2023, and had me moved from APOD away from defendant Richard Allen. Then on May 4th, 2023, a corrupt Lieutenant Larry Crittenden places me in a strip cell status and has corrupt Sergeant Robinson, Officer Garu, and Officer Pleasant remove all of my property from my cell so I could not write or record dates and times of incidents, and went through my property to destroy any incriminating dates and times that I had recorded. Okay? Now I'm going to skip ahead a bit. The next morning, May 5th, 2023, approximately 7 a.m., I was placed in full trip gear, restraints with handcuffs, black box, belly chain, and leg shackles on security camera. That's what Richard Allen wears around when they parade him around. And corrupt Sergeant Brandon Williams and officers removed me from the holding cell to escort me back to my assigned cell in our HVW cell B6202. And Sergeant Brandon Williams orders one of his corrupt officers to run my mattress and bedding through the urine on the floor of cell, since I was left in a cell overnight with no running water or toilet. And then corrupt Sergeant Brandon Williams, note, who has a lawsuit on him in the U.S. Northern District of Indiana for assaulting an inmate and denying the inmate medical treatment for his injuries, can be seen on security cameras slamming me to the floor while in full trip gear, restraints, and violently twisting on my foot and ankle until they break, and then intimidating the nurse not to treat my injuries of a broken foot and an ankle, and a stab wound to my elbow, all to the bone, that was bleeding badly from an ink pen sticking out of Sergeant Brandon Williams' stab vest, and I was then taken back to my assigned cell B6202. Then at approximately 10:45 a.m., corrupt Sergeant Brandon Williams returns to my cell, and with no verbal command to come to my cell door and no video camera recording Sergeant Brandon Williams, opens the handcuff port door in cell door and sprays me with bear spray, or OC pepper spray, while I was laying in bed suffering from my injuries earlier that morning. Then the corrupt Sergeant Brandon Williams leaves me in cell asphyxiating for air for approximately 10 minutes before removing me from the cell. Sergeant Brandon Williams, former officer and now Sergeant Motts, Officer Clemens, and an unknown named officer take me out of view of the security cameras in the hallway, and Officer Quentin Davis tells Sergeant Brandon Williams to hold me up, while Officer Quentin Davis violently punches me in the ribs and stomach and breaking my ribs. And former officer and now Sergeant Motts kneed me in the face, while corrupt Westville Correctional Facility Warden John Gallipo, mental health doctor Monica Walla, and Miss Bourne watched the beatdown. Note, Officer Quentin Davis also has a federal lawsuit on him for assaulting an inmate and denying medical treatment for his injuries. Is this the same Dr. Monica Walla at Westville? In May of 2023, right after the excessive use of force assault with bodily injury, Attorney Bradley Rozzi, the attorney for Richard Allen, requested an interview with me concerning the poor treatment of Richard Allen and inmates at Westville Restrictive Housing Unit and inhumane and human and civil rights violations going on, and someone at either Indiana DOC, Central Office, or Westville Facility Warden John Gallipo denied that interview because they did not want attorney Brad Rozzi to see and record my injuries that they were trying to cover up. I remained in a cell for over a month suffering from my injuries before I received medical treatment. After being taken off of strip cell and receiving my property back and contacting the state of Indiana Governor's Office of Ombudsman Bureau, who contacted the IDOC Office of Investigations and Intelligence, who then got me medical treatment for only my broken foot and ankle, where x-rays confirmed they were broken. Note, while being interviewed by attorney Brad Rozzi on August 4th, 2023, a corrupt Sergeant Dahlia went to my cell B6202 and took all the incriminating dates and times of incidents that I had recorded. Okay, going to skip ahead a bit because there's more. There needs to be a disbanding of the corrupt IDOC Office of Investigations and Intelligence and state and federal investigations into the corruption going on in inhumane conditions, human and civil rights violations due to constant staff and officer shortages going on in all IDOC facilities that's creating unsafe and dangerous prison conditions. On November 8th, 2023, an inmate at Westville Correctional Facility was murdered. Approximately in June 2023, an inmate died of starvation in Westville Restrictive Housing Unit. Inmates have died of suicide in IDOC facilities due to the corruption. Going to skip ahead. Westville Restrictive Housing Unit custody staff say that they care about inmates' quality of life, but I have not had a shower since October 2nd, 2023, and there's other inmates that have not showered longer than that because the inmates do not want to shower when officers are leaving inmates locked in a tiny triangle shower for hours with no place to sit down and having to stand because of the short-staffed or officers stepping in the control booths or in one of the offices. The corrupt Westville Correctional Facility Warden John Gallipo does not allow the Christian Amish church group called Christmas Behind Bars to pass out Christmas acts to inmates because Warden John Gallipo is the leader here of a pagan white nationalist group called Odin. The corrupt staff and officers here at Westville Correctional Facility and at other IDOC correctional facilities wear Odin and Punisher patches on their uniforms and stab vests. The corrupt staff and officers that wear the Punisher patches is a group of good old boys that assault, torture, abuse, and mistreat inmates. I submitted an IDOC grievance to the IDOC Office of Investigations and Intelligence concerning the Odin and Punisher patches, but the grievance never got processed due to the corruption. When I was in a cell just above defendant Richard Allen, I witnessed officers taunting him, calling him a baby killer, kid killer, and deliberately slamming the shower door next to Richard Allen's cell to either wake him up or just annoy Richard Allen. I also witnessed other abuse and mistreatment to Richard Allen. There are dozens of lawsuits on staff and officers at Westville Restrictive Housing Unit in the U.S. Northern District Court of Indiana that clearly show a pattern of assault, torture, abuse, and mistreatment on inmates by corrupt staff and officers. The Indiana DOC seems to put their corrupt staff and officers in their restrictive housing units that assault, torture, abuse, and mistreat inmates. This was written November 23rd, 2023. Let's back up to where he said he last had a shower. October 2nd, 2023. Okay? He says, I have not had a shower since October 2nd, 2023, and there's other inmates that have not showered longer than that. Written November 23rd, 2023. And that is a little peek behind the walls of Westville for you ladies and gentlemen on this beautiful Friday night here in the free world. Now, interesting that he mentions Dr. Monica Walla in this letter. All right, so anyway, like I said, it's going to be a quickie. I'm pretty much feel like I'm done. I did put the link up in case anyone wants to join for a little shorty conversation before we leave, but I ended up having a very busy day, and so I was not able to get here earlier, so we'll keep it a short show tonight, and that's your update for today. I wish I had more. I'd like to know what went on behind closed doors. Remember the news report stated that the family of Richard Allen was crying. I showed you the video because Brad Rossi did not look too happy either. And the story of Doug Carter shrugging. And it kind of felt to me, the vibe I got from looking at those people. And I suggest you go watch it on Fox 59, by the way. You go watch that report from Fox 59. I played it early in the stream, Lisa, right after the song, the news report. But you're going to see video of a bunch of people, and it's going to tell you a lot. And what it kind of tells me is that it looked like it was a day that probably went bad for the defense and good for the prosecutor based upon the various faces that I saw, because all of the questionable parties in my mind The corrupt parties seemed kind of happy and seemed kind of apathetically happy, satisfied. And the defense parties seemed very serious, concerned, and emotional. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to wait until they leak it to the spoon feeders and narrative pushers. So yeah, you know who to watch closest for the thing. But I guess we will patiently wait, and maybe somebody will obtain a transcript. Who knows? So anyway, guys, like I said, there's the link at the pinned at the top there of the chat, and you're welcome to join for a few minutes. Otherwise, I'll be getting the hell out of here. It's been a long day for me, but I don't know. You have the good with the bad. Okay, so I made the community post earlier today to show you that that the prosecution wants wants to block depositions of the Westfalls, Tobe Lesenby, and of the Odinism expert for the prosecutor. Defense wants everything they can get on Monica Walla. So, geez. All right. Let's speculate here. Let's say our obviously biased judge continues on her rampage of bias and denies the Monica Walla, or should I say, approves quashing if the other parties tend to do that, ask for that. And so let's say she's gonna block the Walla, okay, and she's going to and let's say she does that, plus she blocks the depositions of Lesenby, Westfalls, and the Odinism expert for the prosecutor. And let's say she goes ahead and she gives them everything they want, which is no mention of Ron Logan, no mention of any of the Kleins, no mention of anything in the Frank's memo, no mention of anything regarding Mr. Todd Click, who himself, with his buddies, were all seasoned, respected law enforcement officers, including the assassinated Mr. Agent Greg Ferenczi. It's very possible that this judge can flush that all down the drain, could not allow the records for Monica Walla, and can continue to railroad Richard Allen into this case, and it could go that way. But because we are Christians, and Christianity is optimism, let's be optimists, and let's say no matter what, truth will rise to the surface. So no matter what they try, every time they try an effort, that effort in and of itself exposes itself and has karmic repercussions. So every time they produce evil, good comes from it, okay, to counter it and to over take it. So no matter what transpires, we can look forward and say truth will come for the girls. Um, the light is literally. I know it's hard for some to see, but I've been saying since I believe October or maybe September. I've been saying that it's already done. The lights are shining into the dark corners, and that's the great disinfectant. And so I really do believe that. I believe that it's already been underway. We've been shining light in corners for a good year. And so no matter what decisions or what paths are taken, we know that the light has already been shown into these dark recesses, and that's what we're looking at, and that's why it's hard to see because let's say you hear all this crawling around in your cupboards, and you just always ignore it. You never take a look. The first time you take that look and you see cockroaches or spiders or any creepy crawlies, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be shocking. It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be something you don't want to see. But shining that light into that corner and flushing those creatures out, that's part of the process. So that's exactly what's going on here in the Delphi murder scenario, and I really do believe it. And if you don't, I'm sorry, but please pray about it. Find the optimism. Let's say it's very hard to keep lies straight. They will eventually paint themselves into a corner. Yeah, and like I said it earlier on my community post, when the state tells you what they're afraid of, listen to them. They're afraid of the Odinism. They're afraid of the Franks memorandums, or memorandum and the four Franks. They're afraid of everything to do with Todd Click, everything to do with the Franks memo and Odinism. They're afraid of everything to do with whatever was in that first week of interviews and with whatever was in the 70 days of lost info. And if you watched the show last night, you would be well aware that according to Skip, it was that they never had witnesses. Okay, they never had good witnesses. The witnesses were fabricated. They were pasted together. They were shoddy. And for 2 years, they were toying around trying to figure out how to create this story. And what happened in 2019? They got that story created. They changed the narrative in 2019. Okay? If you missed the show last night, please go and watch it. Please do. Please do. Because in the show, we go over very clearly how there are things that don't make sense. Okay. How Betsy Blair said that young guy sketch, remember, 3 or 4 days after the murders, 4 days after the murders, she had that young guy sketch produced and said it was a 10 out of 10 for the killer or for the person she observed. 10 out of 10. Someone 20 years old, slender, with poofy hair, clean shaven. Think about that. 4 days after the murder. Sarah Carbo saw a 1965 not black Mercury comet. But Tony Liggett turned it into Richard Allen's car. Sarah Carbo even drew the profile of that sharp, angular 1965 Comet, which was a vehicle her father had. Tony Liggett also decided to carelessly interject the word bloody. Carelessly. Just add on a little extra for Judge Diener, bloody. He also decided to carelessly change the color of the attire that gentleman had from a tan, light-colored tan jacket to a blue jacket so that it would match whoever's in the video that we call Bridge Guy Video. That's just the tip of the iceberg of the type of shenanigans that have gone on. So, let me just ask, if it was you, or your mother, or your father, or your brother, or your son, would you be okay with that? If it was your son who Tony Liggett added the word bloody onto and changed the color of the clothes in order to further implicate him in the crime, would you be okay with that? Well, what if it was your son in which he changed the entire vehicle that was witnessed by a witness? What if it was your son who you had the state police having two sketches saying that the one is not a person of interest and is irrelevant, and it's now this one. But when your son is arrested, then they put them back together. They retrieve that older sketch and they say, no, it's actually both. It's actually both, and both are your son. Just think about that. What if it was your son in the shock vest being carelessly medicated in Westville as a pretrial detainee, being harassed day and night as inmates and guards call you a baby killer? As your weight is plummeting, you're suffering a psychosis, been there for quite a long time, until just now, and they finally decide to move you out of there. I don't know. All right, guys, so I'll say goodnight to everyone because no one's joined my stream, and I'm not doing this any longer by myself. But thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate it more than anything. Those of you in the chat, it's wonderful. Everyone who hadn't joined the chat, I wish you would. It's fun in the chat. If you're on the replay, please go ahead and join the comment section. It's nice in the comment section. Okay. The comment section continues the conversation beyond just the now, and enables you to add your input, and I appreciate that. So I want to say thank you to right here, Miss Sandy D. Thank you, Sandy D. Thank you, Redneckzilla. Jeff with 2 Fs. Thank you, Lisa. Rick H. Thank you, Nancy Drew 101. K West. Bobby Smith. Nobody Nothing. Nancy Drew 101. Did I already say that? Bill. Thank you, Bill. And thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Georgia Jakes, for being here. All right. Good to see you too. I didn't notice you come in. Digital was here. Welcome in, Digital, and thanks for coming. Yeah, it was Baston. All right. Thank you, True Justice. True Justice was here. Commentator Root. Thank you for being here. Okay. Anyone who was here super early, sorry if I miss you. Fur Baby Daddy, look at him. Fur Baby Daddy was here. Kenneth was here. What's up, Kenneth from Virginia? Good to see you. All right. Noe Amos was here, and Dennis McKean. And let's see. Zero Cool was here. Sunflower Soul's here. What's up, Sunflower Soul? Swade Smith. You were here and you did miss it. Thanks for you watching. No, we're on the way out of here. All right. So, cheers, everyone. Happy Friday. Sorry to be so serious on a Friday. Usually it's a fun party, but I promise next Friday we'll be in better spirits. I just wanted to not fail to come on because I had promised yesterday that I would come on tonight. So I didn't want to miss it. But yeah, like I said, if you missed the show last night, please go back and watch it because it's called Weird 4. Okay, please go back and watch it. It covered a lot of important stuff, and if you missed it, you missed a good one. Anyhow, thank you. And it say Kayla. Kayla says I would join, but I'm in bed. And Digital says join anyway. You don't have to show the camera. Okay. Excellent show last night. Thank you. Yes. Anyone who missed it, please go and watch it. It's covers a lot of ground. Pretty exhaustive. And so I think you like the result of the 3 hours. So anyway, again, a big thank you to Skip for giving me some thoughts to present in the first half. And thanks everyone who was there and everyone who was here tonight. I appreciate you being here. We'll see you later. And that'll probably be Sunday night. So I hope to see you Sunday night. I got something really special planned. Cross your fingers that it works out. I'll have a special guest. And anyway, Sunday night, I hope to see you all. So God bless and good night.
Only need good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes. Can't lie. Good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. Been waiting so patient, I'm going places, can't fake it. My heart is so cold, my energy is contagious. All the pain, I can't take it. I'm staying grounded and graceful, cause I know everything that I've been through only made me count my blessings daily. Yeah, they've been acting shady, but I don't take it personal. The memories fading, I'm enjoying the moment. I've been smelling the roses, taking time to reflect, stepping back, the truth unfolding, unfolding. Got nothing to prove, cause I'm about to blow. I've been in the booth, speaking through my soul. You know that I'm true, either way it go, way it go, either way it goes. I cannot turn cold, staying on the low. I've been protecting my soul. If your intentions are not pure, I can't let you get too close, cause I'm vibrating high. Ain't got time for your ego, these niggas quit to turn me back. Acting like the amigos, they never cared in the shows. Wasn't with you at your lows, assuming that you gonna fold. But baby, I've been growing ever since I let you go. And I've been doing better, and I know that hurts to know. Hurts to know. Only good vibes around me, and that's for sure. Only good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes. Can't lie. Only need good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. You see me searching for my inner peace. I've been learning more about myself and my purpose. Truth always come to the surface. Was hurting, but I had to heal. Releasing all the pain that I always held. Been going through some changes, I'll make it still. Protecting you.